Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Henriette and today I'm going to be working on Easter. I want to sort out our front porch and I'm going to start by making a wreath. So I find myself in the garden cutting some bay and some laurel. It's free, so I'm going to use it for my wreath. This is a wreath I've had for many years and I keep reusing it for all sorts of occasions. So I'm starting off by using my glue gun to attach some eggs. Now these were the eggs that I painted in my last video, which I'll link below. Now I'm going to use some of the greenery I just picked from the garden. I really think it's so nice when you add some fresh greenery. I'm going to add in a bit of faux eucalyptus just to make it look a bit fuller. I had a couple of these felt bunnies that I had left over from my last project. You can see how I made those in my last video. I'm using wire to attach them. I also had a bit of leftover fabric from last week's video when I made some napkins for my table setting. And again, I don't want to waste it, so I'm going to use it. Now I'm adding some faux twigs and then I'll finish the wreath off with some feathers. I wanted to add a bit more to my porch, so I picked up these wooden bunnies. They came from Etsy. Now there's loads of different shapes on Etsy, but I chose these ones because I thought they looked cute. I also picked up some terracotta pots from my local garden centre. Now these are really cheap, and I got 4 of them for under £10. I'm going to paint them in the 4 colours that I've used throughout my theme. Whilst I'm painting, I wanted to tell you a little bit about our home. Our home is Victorian and it was built 150 years ago. And being that we're in London, it is incredible that it has survived 2 world wars completely unscathed. We feel very fortunate to be living here. My husband and I have been driving past this home for over 20 years, and we always loved it, calling it our dream house. We love it because of all the intricate details on the front of the house. Whoever built this house clearly had an interest in architecture and really cared. We couldn't believe it when we were fortunate enough to buy it 5 years ago. I'm going to use some pots that I've already got. I'm going to fill them up with some shredded paper and then put some lichen on the top, or lichen, depending on how you pronounce it. I'll pop a link to this down in the comment box below. Now I'm mixing 2 different colours of lichen just to make it look a bit visually more pleasing. I'm going to add some of my painted eggs on top to make it look a bit like a bird's nest. Whilst I'm filling these pots up, I wanted to tell you about our progress with the house so far. When we first moved in, it didn't take long before we realised that the roof was leaking. So our first job was to replace the roof. It was a good thing really, because we managed to insulate the loft. Now our roof is made of slate tiles and we use cast iron guttering just to make it like it was originally. I picked this vase up from a charity shop. It was £5 and I thought it would fit so well with my Easter theme. I may have to give it a makeover after Easter is over. I'm using the rest of my picks and twigs to fill up the vase. We've also worked on our garden, and one of the things we built was a greenhouse. I have a love for growing our own vegetables, so we built a Victorian greenhouse, but more on that in the next video. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm bending all these twigs to make them look a bit more natural. Nothing grows completely straight in nature, so by doing that, it makes them look more natural. Now I have some primula that I'm going to put into the pots I painted. These boxes are intended for apples, but I like them and I use them a lot to display things. Our house has a cellar, and we think that's where the kitchen used to be. There was a large room down there with a fireplace, and that's where I think it was. There's also a room entirely allocated for coal. So in the old days, they used to have coal stored because that was how they heated the house. There's a coal chute which has now been locked up. Right at the back of the cellar, in the northeast room, there is what we think was a Victorian fridge or Victorian storeroom. This house has the prettiest arches, they're Gothic arches, and part of what we did when we did the roof was that we took out all the old lime mortar that was in between the bricks and we've replaced it, so now it looks really smart again, just as it was intended. been collecting these little Easter hanging items over the years, and I thought it would look pretty on this little tree. I wanted to make some baskets for my children. Now, I say children, they are actually grown-ups now. However, they still love getting Easter baskets from Mummy, so I'm not going to disappoint them. I've decided to make some for their partners too. I've crocheted since I was a child, and for these I'm using twine. This is 3-ply twine. My crochet needle is a size 4.5. It is a little hard on the hands with this twine, however I think it makes for a really nice basket. I decided to do a scalloped edge. Scallops are really in at the moment, so I thought they might appreciate that. I'm going to use some more of this shredded paper just to make them look a bit fuller, and then it's time to add some treats. I had some cellophane in the house, so I thought I'd wrap them just to finish them off. Please comment below. I would love to hear what you were planning for Easter. And please like and subscribe. I'll be most grateful.